and Riko Matsuura. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Thank you for coming today to learn about Japanese culture. Today is the final day. Also, we are the final presenters. My name is Hisae Sotojima. This is my co-presenter, Riko Matsuura. Our topic is the Shikoku pilgrimage. Have you ever heard of the Shikoku pilgrimage? A pilgrimage is a journey to a holy place for religious reasons. There are pilgrimages all over the world for different religions such as Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism. In addition to that, there are several pilgrimages related to Buddhism in Japan. People go on pilgrimage, which are part of each pilgrimage. The most famous pilgrimage in Japan is the Shikoku pilgrimage. Shikoku is an island in the southern part of Japan. Also, it has 4 prefectures. There are countless temples in Shikoku. Only 88 of them were chosen as temples for this pilgrimage. The pilgrims visit all of these 88 temples. I will explain the honorable history of the Shikoku pilgrimage, and then Hisae will discuss valuable traditions of the Shikoku pilgrimage. Let me begin my topic. My topic is about the honorable history of the Shikoku pilgrimage. The history of the Shikoku pilgrimage is long and related to history of Japan. Some customs have changed, but some customs still continue today. There are 3 important points about history of the Shikoku pilgrimage. Through my presentation, you can learn about the essential origin of the Shikoku pilgrimage, its historic development, and its increasing popularity in modern times. First of all, the Shikoku pilgrimage has an interesting origin. Kukai, who is the founder of the Shikoku pilgrimage, is an important person. He is also called Kobo Daishi. When he was 31 years old in the 9th century, he went to China and learned about Shingon sect. It is one of the famous sects of Buddhism. After that, he came back to Japan and spread Buddhist teaching all over Japan. That is why he is popular in Japan. Also, there were some original purposes for pilgrims who participated in the pilgrimage. In Japan, the religion of most people is Buddhism. Many Buddhists, especially believers of the sect which was made by Kukai, wanted to go the Shikoku pilgrimage. And if people go on the pilgrimage, their wishes would come true. So, in the old days, people especially did it to cure illness. Also, for old people, it was to have a happy ending because it was believed that people who went on the pilgrimage would go to heaven. As another reason, people do it for another people, which is called Godai-san in Japanese. For example, grandmother go on the pilgrimage to pray for grandchild's health. In the old days, there was only one method to go on the Shikoku pilgrimage. It was by one's own foot. However, it was difficult to cross a river on foot, so using a ferry was allowed. It was hard to walk about 1,200 kilometers. It is about 745 miles. Generally speaking, it took about 40 to 60 days. For women, it took more time. Then we will look at the development. One interesting characteristic of the Shikoku pilgrimage is its historic development after its origin. There were three important eras. Those are the Edo era, the Meiji era, and the Showa era. In the 17th century, it spread to common people, so the population of pilgrims increased. There were four reasons for this. At first, people who were higher class were rich, so they had enough time and money to go on the Shikoku pilgrimage. However, people who were lower class sometimes lost their jobs, and therefore went on the pilgrimage to get food and clothes and housings. It was not good because some of them became thieves. After that, because roads were improved, people could go on the pilgrimage easily. Lastly, a guidebook and about 20 kinds of maps for the Shikoku pilgrimage were published. Then the Shikoku pilgrimage spread all over Japan more and more. As the population of pilgrims increased, accommodation also increased around famous temples. However, in the 19th century and after the Second World War in 20th century, the population of pilgrims decreased. There was social confusion after the war and lack of food. At that time, people who went on the pilgrimage were people who have problems like poor people and sick people. Then, let's move on the Shikoku pilgrimage in modern times. In modern times, the kind of people who go on the Shikoku pilgrimage have changed. Most pilgrims are old people. However, the number of young people is increasing. Not only do Japanese go on the pilgrimage, but also foreigners are interested in it. Now, about 150,000 people go on the pilgrimage each year. Thus, now many kinds of people go on the Shikoku pilgrimage. Also, these days, people have different reasons to go on the Shikoku pilgrimage. Of course, some Buddhist reasons are the same as the past. However, recently, the part of praying wishes are increasing. For instance, people pray for safety of family, success in business, and perfect health. In addition to that, people, especially most young people, go on the Shikoku pilgrimage on foot to discover themselves. They go to think about their life over again. Finally, the method of transportation of the Shikoku pilgrimage have changed a lot. As I said before, in the past, the method for going on the pilgrimage was only on foot or by ferry. However, now there are a lot of methods. For example, car, tour bus, bicycle, train, motorcycle, and taxi. The tour bus is especially popular. The reason is that recent people tend to this pilgrimage is a kind of sightseeing tour. As you can see, these new transportation methods affect the Shikoku pilgrimage. As just described, the Shikoku pilgrimage has an interesting history. All in all, it's related to history of Japan and culture very much. Now you know much more about the honorable history of the Shikoku pilgrimage. Next, Hisae will discuss valuable traditions of the Shikoku pilgrimage. Please enjoy. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Riko. As Riko said, I'd like to talk about valuable traditions of the Shikoku pilgrimage. My three subtopics are the indispensable accessories, the sacred prayer practice, and the generous hospitality of Shikoku citizens. First, there are many accessories to take when on the Shikoku pilgrimage. These accessories for the pilgrimage are vital. I'd like to talk about what kind of accessories there are. There are sedge hat called sugekasa in Japanese, a walking stick, kongozue, coins, osaisen, sticks of incense, senko, candles, rosoku, offering card, osame-fuda, prayer beads, juzu, white shirts, byakue, and a notebook, no kyocho. I'd like to talk about 3 of them, starting with offering card. First, I'd like to give each of you in the audience an offering card from the Shikoku pilgrimage as a gift to help you remember the Shikoku pilgrimage and this presentation. There is a certain way to use offering card. The pilgrims can write their wishes on it, such as educational achievement, family safety, traffic safety, and maintenance of good health. Also, offering cards have many colors. There are white, green, red, silver, gold, and bright red. The color of the cards are different depending on how many times the pilgrims has gone on the pilgrimage. Some people go on the pilgrimage many times. Only the pilgrims who has gone on the pilgrimage 100 times or more can use this bright red card. So if you see the pilgrims who uses bright red card, it means he has already visited more than 8,800 temples. Then I'd like to talk about white shirts called byakue and a notebook called no kyocho. I have actual white shirts and a notebook from the Shikoku pilgrimage of my friend's father. White shirts have 2 different types. One is for when walking. The other is for collecting a stamped seal of certification from each temple. A notebook is similar to the latter white shirts. It's also for collecting a stamped seal. When the pilgrim finish going to all 88 temples, there must be 88 stamped seal on the shirts and in the notebook. According to a legend, when the pilgrim dies and is cremated in his white shirts, which has 88 stamped seals, he will have a positive afterlife. Also, if pilgrims put the notebook in his casket when he dies, he can go to heaven. So it's like a passport to go to heaven. As you can see, there are many accessories to take when on the Shikoku pilgrimage. Also, each has its own meanings. Next, the Shikoku pilgrimage has sacred prayer practices. First, it's important to understand how the practice works. My partner, Riko, will demonstrate some of the practices as I said. Before the pilgrims enter a temple, they make a slight bow as a greeting. Then they can see a small water fountain. The pilgrims wash their hands and rinse their mouth to purify their spirits of evil thoughts. Then the pilgrims strike the bell twice to obtain serenity of mind. After that, they go to the main hall. At the main hall, first the pilgrims light and offer a candle and 3 sticks of incense. The word 3 means the past, the present, and the future. Then the pilgrims drop an offering card into the box. After that, the pilgrims offer coins. Japanese often use 5 yen coin because we call this coin goen. Goen means good luck in Japanese, so it's a play on words. After that, the pilgrims chant a sutra. When they chant a sutra, they hold prayer beads called juzu. The sutra says people must not do evil. Then the pilgrims receive a stamped seal of certification from the priest of the temple. Finally, the pilgrims make a slight bow in gratitude when they leave the temple, just as they did when they enter the temples. This is correct practices. The wrong practice makes the other pilgrims feel bad, so the pilgrims must pay attention. Finally, I will move on to generous hospitality of Shikoku citizens. The Shikoku pilgrimage is supported by them. Hospitality consists of kindness of the people around the pilgrims. Also, it is an old tradition. One kind of hospitality is to provide a place to rest for the pilgrims. The pilgrims can stay there at no charge. Moreover, something to eat and drink is provided to the pilgrims. Another kind of hospitality is for citizens to give money to the pilgrims. Someone around the pilgrims sometimes give them money. Actually, it's inconceivable to receive these hospitalities from the people who have no relationship with them. This practice confuses the pilgrims at first, but according to Buddhist teaching, generosity is a good way to have a great life. So it's not polite to refuse these hospitalities, even if the pilgrims don't need this food or money. All in all, the Shikoku pilgrimage carries people to temples and imbues the essence of Japanese tradition, changing pilgrims' hearts and mind. I hope this practice will be handed down for generations. Thank you for listening.
In conclusion, the Shikoku pilgrimage started more than 1,000 years ago. It has a long honorable history and valuable traditions.
Especially, it carries generous hospitality. Among them all in Japan, the Shikoku pilgrimage is the one that continues strong hospitality. That's why the Shikoku pilgrimage is the most famous in Japan. Also, it is still popular. And through researching it, we could learn how important hospitality is. Trying to do something for someone gives us goodness in return. Thank you for listening.
Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
You two gone on the Shikoku pilgrimage?
The question is, did we go to this pilgrimage?
Last summer, we went on the Shikoku pilgrimage, but we went to only 6 temples, so we decided when we go back to Japan, we go to all of these 88 temples. Any more questions? Yes.
Are you going by foot or
The question is, did we go on the
Will
we go on the pilgrimage on foot?
we want to go by tour bus. Yes. Any more questions?
Yes.
You said it took 40 to 60 days to go by foot. How long does it take by tour bus?
The question
Travel there.
The question is, how long time does it take by tour bus? It's depending on tour plans, but one of them is it takes 11 days, and this cost is $3,000. Yes.
Are the accessories optional or mandatory?
The question is, those accessories are optional or mandatory?
These accessories is the pilgrims have to pay extra money, and also it is depending on quality. So, yes. Any more questions? Thank you so much. And now all the extension students are finished our presentations.
We are really happy to be here as extension students.
We couldn't be here without supportive friends, always host families, and teachers.
We deeply appreciate you. Thank you
For everyone.